You're good.
Hey everyone, am I
You're
cut?
ready to step
Let
out.
me-
There
I
we
need
go.
to- Okay. Hi guys, welcome to Trail Talk. We're so glad you could join us today. I'm Edie. This is
Elizabeth Saintman.
Elizabeth, and this is our special guest, Jan Carroll. We're really glad to have you here today, Jan.
Thank you.
Thanks for traveling over in the heat
Yes.
to
Very
join
hot.
us. Just a few things about Jan. She is a member of the Chisholm Trail Heritage Center, so that's pretty exciting. We're glad to know that about her. And she's a pretty well-known and decorated dulcimer player. Dulcimer, do you say player? Is that
Player,
appropriate?
yes.
Okay, dulcimer player, and she's going to do some performing for us, singing also, I believe.
Right.
So we're just so thrilled to have you here today.
Thank
and
you.
Elizabeth is going to be kind of taking you guys through today's episode. So welcome to Trail Talk. I'll just step out here and you ladies get after it.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna scoot on over here. That way. Okay. Well,
Can't see you.
I know.
You sure? Yes.
Oh, excuse me. So, well, Miss Jan, if you would be so kind as to tell our viewers where you're from, how you got started with this instrument, that'd be greatly appreciated.
I currently live in Lawton, and I grew up in the very eastern part of Oklahoma, just around the Poto, Oklahoma area, just close to Fort Smith, Arkansas. Hence the wonderful accent.
Yes.
And I've always played piano in my whole life, and about 12 years ago, I got interested in the dulcimer. You know, I went to Branson and bought one just like everybody else that goes to Branson does. And eventually decided that I needed to learn to play it, and got interested and met a friend who showed me some things and got me started, and
That is
there's
so
this history.
cool. I love that. Now, this one you told me has a very rich history. So,
It does. The mountain dulcimer is actually, this is a mountain dulcimer as opposed to a hammer dulcimer. Hammer dulcimer dates way, way back in history. This mountain dulcimer originated in the Appalachian Mountains in America. When the Irish and the Scottish immigrated to the Appalachian Mountains, they came up with this instrument, and they built it out of whatever spare parts they had available, wire, steeples for the frets, and just whatever they could to make an instrument, and it has evolved from that. Now this instrument actually came from wood. This is wormy chestnut, the top. You can see the wormholes here, different places on it. This, from the Smoky Mountains, as the government came in and purchased land in the Smoky Mountains to make it federal land, there was one landowner who did not want to sell. So they waited, and of course eventually the landowner passed, and then the family sold to the government. But there was an old barn standing there that had to be moved, and so one of the luthiers there in Townsend, Tennessee purchased the old barn and used it to make dulcimers. And you know, chestnut is almost extinct in the Appalachian Mountains because the worms get into it and have destroyed it. Plus the people cut it down to make buildings, but they realized after the fact that that wasn't a good idea because worms like chestnut, and then they'll destroy it. Yeah. So this was special built for me by Mike Clemmer, who lives in Townsend, Tennessee, and he has a dulcimer shop there. And you know, the old timers, the way they played it, this is called a noter. It's a piece of wood that's flat on one side and kind of rounded, and they would fret it like that. I'm not good at it. That's not how I play.
oh wow.
That's how they play. And you know, they didn't have plastic. So we have plastic picks these days, but they didn't have that. So they used a feather the quill of a feather, and they probably cut this off. I didn't. And they strummed it with the quill of a feather because that's what they had. And so that was the old-timey way. And there are still people today, there are groups of people who do still play that way and to preserve the history of the instrument. And so I don't play that way, but that's how,
That
that's
is
how
very
they did
cool.
it.
I love that. I love that you brought these items with you, especially. Now, you have two different kinds, right? So this is, like you said, chestnut.
This one's made out of chestnut. This one is spruce top and an African mahogany bottom.
Oh, wow.
And you can, these are different. This is a wider body here. This is called a church model. And I chose it because it's a little bit louder. And you'll be able to tell the difference. This is a mellower sound. This is a brighter sound. And
Cool.
so every wood, just like a guitar, the wood gives it a different sound. Yeah.
Now, you said that originally when we were talking off camera that some of them have 3 strings, some of them don't. I mean,
This one is set up where you can have 5 strings. I only use 3. Most people just use 3. This one is actually set up for 4 strings. I still just use 3.
so cool.
Originally there were 3 strings, and then modern day people have added strings. You can do different chords and different things, but traditionally they were 3-string instruments.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And then, and I find it interesting, especially since, fun fact for you, I used to be in orchestra. I used to play violin, as I told you before. And then you told me that it's not the same as violin when the inside you have the bridge, especially with the guitars. So can you explain a little bit more?
Well, the builders have to be very careful where they do bracing, just like in any instrument. The bracing inside will affect the sound. And so these luthiers have studied their instrument. Usually a luthier specializes in a particular instrument, and they study that, and they have their own take on how to make their instrument sound better. But yes, we still have all the parts that you would have here on any music instrument. And the strings,
Yeah, they have the little.
these are
little
loop
knots.
strings. Come on, this one. So, yeah.
Very cool.
This is a scroll head, and that's just for looks. The main thing it does is makes it harder to change strings, so
I believe
as
it.
for
Yes.
a
Oh my goodness.
violin.
Like,
Yes.
anytime mine broke, I didn't know how to do it. So
Yes.
I wasn't that great as my teachers were, especially.
Yes,
so.
it's harder.
It is. It certainly is.
Yes.
And then you tell me you also won championships. Could you explain to our viewers where you've gone, where
Okay.
that journey has taken you?
The Dulcimer World has festivals all around the country. Most of them are more east of us, closer to the Appalachian Mountains. But there are some here, even on the West Coast. There are some. And I decided about 4 or 5 years ago that I was going to just start traveling and visiting festivals and meeting people, because it's really fun to meet different people that you all have the same love of music in common. And so I did that, and I won the Texas championship.
Oh wow!
And I said, that was fun. So I decided then that I would just go over to Louisiana, and I did, and I won that championship.
Oh my goodness!
And then I decided, well, okay, we'll just go make it a little further, and we go to Mississippi. So I won that one too, and then I was able to go to Mountain View, Arkansas, which is a very coveted title to win, and that's a regional, South Central region, and I was able to win that one.
Oh my goodness!
So I had a lot of fun. Of course, this was all before COVID, and
I
all
know.
all of the festivals have been canceled pretty much this year, so
That's such a bummer.
it is.
Well, I greatly appreciate you being here, and I hope you guys enjoy her music as much as I do. I have a great appreciation for Appalachian tunes. You know, it's got a very different sound, I feel, compared to, especially being here in Texas. Texas,
Yes.
Oklahoma, you know, it's got more of a kind of like, I always think of like a Southern Belle kind of sway. Where It's
Yes.
different up in that region.
Yes.
So if you wouldn't mind as to
Okay,
take it
I will
away.
play some. The first song I'm going to do would be from a song that they may have played in the Appalachian Mountains. Probably they did. It's an old Irish tune called "Rosin the Bow," and this is very similar to an arrangement that a friend of mine did on this song. Bean Futch has arranged the song, so I'm going to play an arrangement that's fairly close to what he did, but I think it's a beautiful arrangement.
And you said that was Irish origin?
It's an Irish song. It's called "Rosin the Bow," and it's a very popular Irish song. It's played, and different people give it a different timing. Some people play it as a jig and different things, but I think it's one of my favorites. I love the melodies and the harmonies with that. It's very pretty.
Very soulful.
Yeah. I'm going to change instruments now. This is the instrument I play mostly. You know, you kind of get your favorite, the touch that you get really used to, and so this was made in Texas. It was made by McCafferty, Terry McCafferty. He lives down Central Texas area, and he's a very good dulcimer maker. I enjoy playing his instrument.
Oh my goodness. Well, what an honor. That's awesome. And I noticed, is that the inlay of your
Yes,
work?
yes, he did all of this inlay as butterflies and hummingbirds, and it's just a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, it's very. Oh,
Yes.
It's just gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah.
I like the little cutouts, especially.
Yes.
Varies from
Yes.
from the one you just
Right,
played.
and typically you can order your dulcimer with particular cutouts if you prefer. I usually tell the builder, put in there what's your mark, because it kind of marks their dulcimer, their signature.
Mhm.
And I like to have what they normally put on them instead of a custom. So.
Yes, that is very cool.
Now you'll notice the difference in the sound of this one and that one. This is a brighter sound than that one that I played. It was a more mellow, warm tone to it. This is a little different.
And then I noticed you put this
object on it?
This is a tuner.
Oh, really?
For
That's
those of us who don't trust our ear to tune. And as you move instruments to different climates, different humidities, of course, you're in here is very controlled humidity, but coming from the outside, the instrument has to adjust to the climate, so sometimes that gets it a little out of tune.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Just like anything.
Yeah, right.
You know, like a
Like all
violin,
instruments.
guitar.
And one sign of a really good builder is if their instruments stay in tune really well. I think that would be true of any instrument. And the builders I'm familiar with do a really good job with that. So that makes it nice.
Excellent. Very good.
Yes.
Now, what is this next song that you will be?
Okay, I'm going to sing one for you next. One that most everyone will be familiar with, the Red River Valley.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very old cowboy song, part of our heritage. Most people know it, so I will sing that one for you. You know, I don't trust myself with remembering words, so I always bring a little bit of words with me. Remember the music, I don't remember the words.
Very nice.
So this is Red River Valley. From this valley they say you are going. Let me start over. I am just, okay. From this valley they say you are going. We will miss your sweet smile and bright eyes, for they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathways so well. Come and sit by my side if you bid me adieu. Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowgirl that loved you so true. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, is that one of your favorites?
That's one of my favorites.
I
Yes,
like
I
that.
do like that one.
I can hear
Yes.
it in your voice. Now,
Yes.
and the one thing that I would like to ask, especially, for our viewers, if they want to learn how to play the dulcimer, what would the investment be, especially for this instrument?
You can find a lot of instruments on eBay. I would say be very, very careful about purchasing. Get someone who knows about them, because it's like any instrument. You can buy one that's not fun to play.
Mhm.
A well-built instrument is more fun to play. But Mountain View, Arkansas, there's a wonderful next pad and dulcimer shop there, and so you could call them. They're wonderful to help you. And you can buy used instruments, but it would probably be very hard to get a good instrument's going to cost you $300 up. But as far as instruments go, that's not a terrible
too bad.
price
Yeah.
for. Yes. And if you want to learn, go to festivals and or take private lessons. But I highly recommend festivals. They give lots of classes at festivals.
Really?
Yes.
Is that how you got your
Mhm.
start in this?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And in some of the cases, are you self-taught in some?
Yes, I would go to classes, and then just a lot of it's practice. Learning an instrument is practicing.
Just like anything.
Yes.
You
It's how
gotta
much
start somewhere.
time. Yes, how much time you want to put into it. Yes, that's
Very
true.
nice. Now, you also have a Facebook. If
I have a
people want
Facebook,
to get in
yes.
touch with you,
Mhm.
and then also a YouTube channel.
I do. I have a YouTube channel.
Now, and
Yes.
this is her Facebook at Jan Carroll. She also has her YouTube here. Same thing, Jan Carroll. And I believe you said that you had CDs also.
I
if
have
people are-
CDs. I have a couple of CDs. Yes.
Great.
People can contact me if they want to purchase
Oh,
one.
excuse me. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I can. Hang on. Where do you do your recordings, especially?
There's a couple of studios in Lawton that I've done. Yes.
I did not know that they had any. Wow.
Yes.
See, I'm learning new things.
Yes.
On any Trail Talk, I always learn new things. Well, amazing. Thank you so much. And now, where do you really like to, do you take Irish ballads, or do you have a wide range of?
I do a wide range of songs. I do a lot more contemporaries, do some show tunes, different. I mainly look for beautiful music,
Mhm.
and if it's beautiful music, I would like to learn to play it.
And do you ever make up your own tunes?
Sometimes,
Sometimes. Very interesting. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Anyways, if you.
Yes,
wouldn't
I
mind.
have another song. The Spanish. I love the Spanish music. I think it's very, very pretty. So this is Spanish Fandango. A lot of guitarists play this song.
Oh, really? you're right. Talking about the different tone in the
Mhm.
instruments. I love that.
So much
This one-
brighter.
Yeah, this
Yes.
one is very, very uplifting, I find.
Mhm. Yes.
The other thing I wanted to ask was, how can people, or where can they come and find you if they want to see you perform, like at
Well,
festivals?
this year it's kind of hard.
Right.
Everything's been canceled. I play with a group in Lawton. We typically play the first and third Wednesday at the Brookridge Retirement Center. And that's a band that we have that we play there. And I go to whatever festivals that are around. I usually try to make the big one
Mhm.
in Winfield, Kansas every year. But yeah, just watch my Facebook page and I usually announce where I'll be.
Awesome.
Yes.
Always good. And then going back to our original question of, where can people learn this instrument? Do you ever give out lessons?
I do.
You do?
I give lessons, yes. Just contact me.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Love it. And then, how long does it take for you to learn a song? I mean, does it
Well,
a couple tries?
I like to arrange, so most of the songs I play are my arrangements. So I learn a song and then they call it make it yours,
Mhm.
where you do your little licks and things to it. So it takes a while, yes.
I believe it. Especially on 3 strings and trying to
Yes,
gauge
only
on
3
where you're
strings.
going.
Mhm. And this instrument, typically the dulcimer is what's called a diatonic instrument. That basically means we don't have all the black keys. Like on a piano, if you look at a piano, we don't have all the black keys, just some of them.
Mhm.
So we don't have, a piano's called chromatic instrument because it has all the half steps. We don't have all those.
My goodness.
So,
Very interesting.
Yes.
And the last thing I wanted to ask so far is, did you grow up hearing this?
no,
In
I
Arkansas, or-
didn't know what a dulcimer was till I went to Silver Dollar City.
Really?
In Branson.
And you just had the
Yes.
inspiration to, I want to do that.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
so cool. Love it. It's like anything else, especially with being an artist, like you
Takes
see
time.
some people and then like, that's amazing,
Yes.
Yeah. It's always a good motivation and inspiration to do so.
Yes. But you can do pretty much anything if you just put the time in.
For sure. And then, like, do you have a certain type of song that is your favorite exactly? Or are there too many?
There's a lot. I really love the Spanish music and a lot of the Western, especially what we call it classic country now.
Right.
Yes, I grew up with that music, so
That's always good. It's always kind of interesting to see other artists pay it forward.
yes.
It's amazing. And with that,
Okay.
I'll let you-
Yeah, I will do another really oldie that came probably older than the instrument. Shenandoah. There's a lot of discussion about what really the song is talking about. Might be talking about the Shenandoah Valley,
Mhm.
or it might be talking about the chief Shenandoah. Nobody really knows, but it's a beautiful song anyway. I love the harmonies in it. So. Missouri. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Miss Jan, do you have another one ready?
I do. Yeah. This is one of my more requested ones, I think, and this is we talk about classic country. I also am a fan of Floyd Kramer, so I'm going to do his most famous song. I think his most famous, "Last Day."
my favorite one so far.
Yes.
Excellent.
I like that song.
Why did you choose these songs that you decided to bring here today?
They're my favorites.
Your favorite?
Yes. I
How
like to
many
play.
do you have a range of? If I can ask, do you play many others also? I mean, or are these your top 5?
No, I play. I have competition numbers. I play. I have one. I'll play you. Well, the Spanish Fandango was one of my, and then I play El Paso. It's one of my newer competition numbers that I'll play for you. And I do some show tunes like Edelweiss, and I do quite a large repertoire. Depends on the audience,
Right.
you know. I choose something I think the audience would like.
Now, some songs, do you ever play like really fast, or like
I
do they have their own
do.
tempos?
Yeah, I do, but they're not as pretty.
Right. I love these. They're very calm.
I really go for the beautiful harmonies, and that's what I enjoy.
I love those. They're excellent.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I will let you take it away.
Okay.
If you have a breather.
Okay, I'll play El Paso for you. First off, I think I'm going to get a drink though,
How
because I'm
refreshing.
kind of dry here. This is one of my favorites. A Marty Robbins tune, Cowboy.
I just hear the words in my head. You know.
He's very talented.
He is. Oh, I love that one. That boy. Reminds you of, like, thinking back in the old days, you know.
Yes. A real cowboy song.
Oh.
When did you want? How many more? One?
However many you want.
Well, I didn't know what our time frame was. I've got a couple more. I'll sing one and then I'll end with. Whoops. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, most of the I do some gospel that's kind of upbeat, but most of the others I do are slower songs. This is when I was a kid, I heard this on the radio and I thought it was the most beautiful song I'd ever heard. It's been recorded by a few people. Even one of the stars of Daniel Boone, the TV show, recorded it, and he had a wonderful voice. It's called Distant Drums. I hear the sound of distant drums far away, and if they call for me to come, then I must go, and you must stay. So marry, marry me, let's not wait. Let's share all the time we can before it's too late. Love me now, for now is all the time there may be. If you love me, marry, marry, marry me. I hear the sound of bugles blow far away, and if they call, then I must go across the sea, so wild and gray. So marry, marry me, let's not wait, for those distant drums might change our wedding date. Love me now, for now is all the time there may be. If you love me, marry, marry, marry me. So marry, marry me, let's not wait, for those distant drums might change our wedding date. Love me now, for now is all the time there may be. If you love me, marry, marry, marry me.
That was a wonderful one.
Thank you.
Now, here, we'll give you a little break here.
Okay.
So if any of you, our viewers at home, have a question for our lovely and talented Ms. Jan Carroll, feel free to unmute yourself or write a question in the text, and we'll let her answer your question.
Everybody's bashful. Elizabeth's exhausted them with the question. She's asked all the questions.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'll do one more to end on.
Well, Miss Jan and Miss Elizabeth, this was a fantastic,
Excellent.
yes, great episode today. Again, I think my head might be in the top.
I know.
Thanks for
Lower
having
myself
me.
down a little. Oh no, the pleasure was ours. I was just mentioning to Elizabeth that the tone of your voice is like another instrument playing. You have just a
Thank you.
lovely voice, and
Thank
what a
you.
pleasure to be able to have you share that with everyone
Thank you.
today. It was just so very nice. I just feel so relaxed and at peace with everything right
Yes.
now. It's just it was great.
Dulcimer, the word dulcimer actually means sweet sound.
Aptly named. I can't think of a better name for that instrument. And they're pretty to look at too.
are.
Really, they're very beautiful
Thank
instruments.
you.
But thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Let me go over just a few housekeeping things I want to keep you guys aware of. Remember, National Day of the Cowboy is coming up fast. It's a week from Saturday, July the 25th, and we are going to have a special activities going on here at the Chisholm Trail Heritage Center beginning at 10 in the morning. Those will last until 2 in the afternoon, but the whole day is free admission to the museum, and that will last until 4 in the afternoon. We have the Cutest Cowpoke contest going on, so you're going to want to submit your pictures for that. We have a lot of other things planned for that day. You'll be able to purchase snow cones out in the parking lot if you want to stay cool, because we will have activities going on outside as well as inside. That way we can kind of keep a handle on the number of visitors we have. We want to keep everything, everyone well protected, and yet allow them to enjoy that special day. National Day of the Cowboy is just a whiz-bang good time, yeehaw
It
kind
is.
of day, let me tell you.
It's a lot of fun. I've been here at the previous
Yes,
ones.
it is a lot of fun. So we hope you'll plan to join us that day. Alan Wooten and his Cowboy Opry Band will be here playing, and just a lot of fun things. And also, our Trail Talk, I had to pause before I tried to say it, Trail Talk Trivia Tuesdays. Our very first one will be happening next Tuesday, and so be sure that you watch. If you missed yesterday's Trail Talk, watch yesterday's, rewatch today's, because we're going to ask you a question on Tuesday, and that will happen on Twitter. So if you're not following us on Twitter or you don't have the app, do those two things. If you're on Twitter, follow us. If you aren't, that's the only way you can enter the contest. And you'll see where all the rules and everything, you can find out everything that you need to know. And if you have questions about that, you can ask us, but we'll be announcing winners next week. We'll put the question up on Tuesday, so be watching for that. In next week's Trail Talks, we are going to have a special book reading by a fun person who is going to be joining us. We'll have a special guest to read. And then we are going to have Martha Berger, and she's a local photographer, and she does a lot of nature and man-made type uses those objects for her photography, and she has some beautiful pieces she'll be bringing and share some photography tips with us. So we just have so many things happening next week. We're very excited around here, and we're so glad you joined us. It's time to unmute yourself if you're watching us on Zoom, because we're going to sign off. Now, Jan, around here, whenever it's time to get off, we say happy trails together.
Okay,
So,
but first I would like to say, if you haven't visited the Chisholm Trail Heritage Center, you should. This is a wonderful museum, and they do so much for the community and so many great programs, and it's worthwhile your time to visit.
well, thank you. We want Jan around to plug us some more. We're going to have her back. What do you guys think? Maybe Jan will come back and play for us again. I think that would be very nice, a great thing. Okay, if you guys are unmuted, all right, then on 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy trails!